guy here I haven't seen before. Blaine?
Yeah, Blaine MH.
Hey guys, I really enjoy your videos. I'm having problems with my 455 running hot when idling in lines. I've tried a few things next to spacing the backing plate on the water pump.
Yeah.
Louis,
you take the motor aspect. I'll take the airflow aspect.
Yeah, I have a 455 in my 67 for many, many, many years. I have drove it when it's in the 90s, and I used to drive that car a lot. You got to remember, I was 22 years old. But I don't know. I never had problems with the overheating. Never. Now it all comes about what thermostat is he running.
What year is it, Blaine? What year? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't catch a year either.
But Louis, weren't you telling us that your that the water pump, the spacing on the back plate and that back plate, that metal plate can get worn out?
Yes.
So that is definitely worth checking out. Is it in metal cooling fins or cast iron cooling fins? Or, yeah, the impeller fin. Cool.
And then what would you add to that, Mike? You said you had
engine is a 74. What car is it in, Blaine? What year car? So I know on the first gens they put a number of different pieces in the airflow. There wasn't much grill there on these Pontiacs, right? So you have there's an air dam on top that was special. Okay, 67 Firebird. Okay, so this is what I'm talking. So on the top, they have the air baffles that keep all the air going through the radiator and not coming over the top of the radiator. They have the air baffle on the bottom. That is pretty damn important as well, because without that, the air tends to loop out. The ones I didn't know about until I researched it to death is there are also a couple of rubber flaps that go in beside the radiator, off the core support and over to the upper brackets, that also funnel air through the radiator.
Especially for AC cars. They had that one, Mike.
Yeah, they were AC and 455s, right?
Well, 455 didn't come out to 1970.
Right.
But for the 400 or the AC car, they had what you're talking about.
Right, the rubber side air dams.
Yep, I think I sent you original pictures of that.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I found some and was able to put them in. But yeah, these things were, the nose of these cars were challenged as far as airflow goes on a good day.
Yeah.
With that split in the middle and, styling, it just, you gotta make sure all those pieces are in there for proper airflow, or it ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Didn't he say that it was his issue overheating was when he was at a stop?
Yeah. So he said it was when it was idling.
Yeah.
When idling in lines, and that's true too. But it all kind of goes together, right? Make sure your shroud's good. Make sure your fan's good. Don't use one of those flexi fan.
No.
The real one.
Right.
Or put
what a lot of guys don't do, they don't put the spacer behind the fan. You see, your fan have to be inside the shop.
Yep.
Right.
It can't be a little bit out and a little bit in. No, it got to be in there.
Yeah, and if you have an aftermarket fan on it, get rid of it.
Yep.
The other thing, you can always throw a electric fan in front of the radiator.
Aluminum radiator.
Yeah, aluminum radiator.
I use that too.
A lot of them will talk about 4-core radiators and 3-core radiators and stuff, but nowadays they have 2-core radiators that work better just because they have much wider tubes in them.
Yep.
And those work. They're very, very efficient. So
you know what's another thing real good that these first gen did not bring? The Overflow catch catch bottle.
It just puked out on the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty good because you have more antifreeze, supply on the side, and the pressure, it kind of bleeds itself. If it has some of them have like a little hole on top, a secondary little hole. and
Right.
it bleeds itself. I mean, I never ran into problems. All my cars have it.
Well, that's a good point. You got to have a catch can that feeds into and out of the bottom.
Yep.
If you don't have a catch can and you just dump it on the road, you're leaving an air bubble in there that'll get you. If you're pushing it into a bottle, and then when it cools, it'll pull it back out of that bottle.
Right. Yes.
That's the way it's designed, and I actually had that issue on my 67 with the LS, and I changed my catch can over to a bottom feeder, and no issue.
And if you guys want to know, for the first gen, a 1973 is a 1973 Nova Overflow catch bottle is the one that will fit our cars right next to the battery inside the fender, passenger side. You cannot even see it, so it's out of the way.
That's what I have.